Welcome to the RBV 25 show. So, the lock of the week. What can we say, folks? I have an 8-1 record. The undefeated streak is done, over. And why is it done? It's because of the Ravens. Well, they failed to cover. It was 7.5 points. I mean, the Ravens, they just didn't play well. They got hosed on some calls, but it wouldn't have fucking mattered. They just didn't do their thing. They didn't play well, and they lost the game. What a bunch of bozos. They all need to fucking step up. On the flip side, though, UConn got destroyed by Duke, which is what I predicted. It was a great day for the people who backed Duke. All right. We're also going to discuss some NFL news, led us to Robbie V, college football thoughts, college football picks, and the NFL. All right. Now, let's get to the dope of the day. Well, the dope of the day is the Baltimore Ravens. How in God's name did you lose to the Colts? This tomfoolery is unacceptable. You guys blew up my perfect record in the lock of the week. Robbie V's pointing his finger. That's just... You're dead to me. Please practice harder and execute better to ensure this doesn't happen again. Ravens, you played like shit in your fucking dope of the day. Unacceptable. Our second dope of the day goes to the Jets fan who almost lost his teeth on national television on CBS. Basically, CBS cut to this guy. He was just booing loudly. He almost lost his teeth, his dentures, whatever you want to call him. Even CBS made a comment about it. Hey, buddy, let's calm down. And I know the Jets blow, but for God's sake, let's keep our teeth while booing them. You need teeth to chew steak when the lock of the week hits and you can buy a steak dinner. Let us to Robbie V. Let's see here. The first letter. Dear Robbie V, your lock of the week has failed, and I lost a fucking bundle, you moron. What is the tomfoolery? What is this tomfoolery? Can we please get a resurgence of the lock of the week and pick some winners? I'm a big fan of the show. Signed, Fozzie Bear. Well, Fozzie, first off, I appreciate that you're a friend of the show. Thank you. I'm sorry you lost a bundle. The fact of the matter is the lock of the week is, strategically scouted every week by myself. I do a lot of research, Fozzie, and I wouldn't exactly put, this is a RBV 25 public service announcement. I wouldn't exactly put all my money on the lock of the week. I mean, you want to keep money for bills. As for the resurgence for the lock of the week, of course we're going to have a resurgence, starting with this week, for God's sakes. Fozzie, I wish you well in life and in the comedy routine. And I hope people, I hope the patrons will stop throwing tomatoes at you. Second letter. Dear Robbie V, the Weymouth Shaw's is disgusting and is a dump. For God's sakes, the floors are dirty. And my evidence is there's dirt on the fucking floor. That's not good. What supermarket would you recommend for your viewers? I can't take going there anymore. Signed, Bernard from Brockton. Well, Bernard, obviously I wouldn't go to Shaw's. I mean, I go there for, good prices on the sale items. That's about it. If you want a good supermarket to go to the friend of a show, Market Basket in Hanover, Massachusetts. It's got great low prices, a great meat department, and the seafood's not bad either. You're going to save a bundle of money, and the floors, at least to my knowledge, are never dirty. Bernard from Brockton, I wish you a good night. I wish you a good day. And thank you for listening, being a loyal viewer to the RBV 25 show. All right. Let's see how we're doing on time here. Oh, we're ahead. Good. College football thoughts. All right. Let's talk about the thing that everyone is talking about right now. The Colorado versus Oregon. Colorado got smoked. There's no ifs, ands, buts, whatever. And they certainly did a lot of talking before the game, saying about how they were going to run all over Oregon and about how Oregon wasn't going to know what hit them and whatnot. Colorado got fucking kicked in the head and drilled in the mouth. There's not much more to say about it. Colorado, I think the bloom is a little bit off the rose here. Look, they don't have a defense. They gave up 49 to Oregon. They gave up, I think it was like 42 to TCU. The other teams, yeah, they held in check, but they didn't exactly have a pulse. I mean, they gave up, actually, no. They gave up 35 to Colorado State. I mean, Colorado doesn't, they're a team that is on the decline right now. And it doesn't get any easier, folks. Especially with them playing USC. Granted, it's in Boulder, but they're going to have problems. Notre Dame, they pulled up some tomfoolery. They've only had 10 players on the field during the last two plays of the Ohio State game-winning drive. That's no way to run a defense. You need 11 players. I mean, even Robbie V knows that. It probably cost them the game. It could have cost them the game. We'll never know without that other man. But I don't know. Notre Dame needs to be better. And finally, locally, BC got smoked. Unfortunately, it really wasn't that close. The game was pretty much the low point of the Jeff Hafley era. They were down 28-0 at one point. I mean, for God's sakes, they took way too many penalties and they had to play with a lot more discipline. And the cherry on the top was the fake spike play. Louisville ran a fake spike. Basically, it was towards the end of the first half. BC was caught napping. Louisville just took off with the ball. They gained about 50 yards. And then next play, of course, they hit a touchdown in the end zone. It was an absolute fucking joke. Hafley obviously should be gone. And I really don't know who BC should have right now for a coach. But they really need to think about getting his replacement. And they need to really think about it, doing it fast. All right. Let's see how time is. All right. College football picks. All right. For the first time ever in the history of the RBV 25 show, we are going to have a double lock of the week this week for college football to make up to the viewers last week for not winning. All right. The first lock of the week is an obvious one. It's UConn versus Utah State. Utah State -6. UConn, quite frankly, was awful last week, and there's no reason to think won't be awful this week. Utah State has some unfinished business with UConn. If you don't follow Utah State football, and I can understand why you wouldn't, UConn actually took them to the wire last year in the game. I think they won something like 34-28. The Huskies gave them a battle, and basically they almost beat them. But this year's a fucking different story. Utah State's going to be prepared. They're the better side. They're the better team on both sides of the ball. And quite frankly, they're going to be ready. For the first time ever, this game will be a part of the double lock of the week for college football. Take Utah State at -6, and that's according to DraftKings. And also, Utah State put up 35 against James Madison last week, so they're no fucking slouch. And it's going to rain. And basically, UConn doesn't really have a passing game. So Utah State, I think, is in a really good position to cover for the first lock of the week. And that lock of the week game is at 12 o'clock. Let's talk about a second game. Auburn versus Georgia, -14.5. Obviously, you're going to take Georgia. Auburn really doesn't have what it takes to hang with Georgia, even though this game is at home. At best, they're probably going to be down a TD by the half. But Georgia is so good offensively and defensively it's too good, basically, to let Auburn hang around. Because they have a good offense and a good defense. Sure, they had a scare against South Carolina. And they won Georgia won 24-14. But they put UAB handily away last week, 49-21. I watched Auburn this week against Texas A&M. And I also watched them give up 2 freaking touchdowns to their backup QB, who basically came in off the bench because their first string was injured. Auburn doesn't have it. They couldn't beat Texas A&M and keep that game competitive, and I'm certainly not going to keep this one competitive. It's as simple as that. Georgia has too much talent, and they're going to run away with this and easily cover the 14.5-point spread. Take it from Robbie V. Nebraska versus Michigan. -18 Michigan. Michigan's going to win this game, being led by J.J. McCarthy. Nebraska hasn't beat anyone this year. Yes, the game's in Lincoln and, Big Red and they're going to be up for the game, but it really doesn't fucking matter. Michigan defense is going to stymie the Cornhuskers offense. Michigan defense hasn't given up more than, I think it's 10 points this year to a team. and they have been playing great all year. And Michigan's balanced attack, they're just going to wear down the Cornhuskers in the second half. Not to mention the Cornhuskers don't have enough talent to compete in this game. Sure, Michigan's a road dog. I mean, a road favorite, and 18's kind of high, but they'll make it happen. All right. Now to the second lock of the week. The second lock of the week is USC Colorado. I'm taking USC minus 21.5. Colorado, as we have gone over, has got embarrassed last week, and they were physically beat up. If you don't think that the USC coaches right now and Riley is going to look at this Oregon game and realize that Oregon provided the blueprint on how to beat those guys, you're crazy. The USC offense is going to roll through whatever the fucking Colorado defense is doing that day. Caleb Williams is too fucking good to be balled up by those fucking hose brains. The Colorado offense, yeah, might find some success against USC, but they won't be able to keep up with them. USC's defense will slow them down. Look, it might take a late touchdown, but USC is going to win by a few touchdowns, and hopefully this will keep the lock of the week on. It's not hopefully. This is going to keep the lock of the week on a winning streak. You take USC minus 21.5, and you take Utah State minus 6. And those are the locks of the week for college football. So let's talk about the NFL a little bit. So let's talk about Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift. I mean, because what the hell? This isn't really an NFL story, but on Sunday it definitely got a lot of attention. I mean, for God's sakes, the NFL Red Zone was cutting away from games to show Taylor in a luxury box multiple times during its broadcast. I mean, I hate to say it, but it actually almost served as a distraction from the NFL action on the field. I'm really glad, Travis Kelce scored a fucking TD and Taylor yelled, "Let's fucking go" in the luxury box. I mean, hey, good for them. They seem happy, and hope it works out for them. But I don't need a blow-by-blow account on what is going on between them 24/7 on NFL Red Zone, though. That's fucking dope of the day material, Red Zone. Let's get with the program. Let's focus what's happening on the field, people, and let's leave the kids alone. NFL stadium violence is rearing its ugly head again. There was a massive fight in the stands during the 49ers-Giants game last Thursday. Some guy got his head knocked off. It wasn't good. You really wonder here, like, with all this recent media attention and the attention of the Robbie V 25 show, when's the NFL going to fucking do something about it? It's just absolutely fucking ridiculous. I mean, if Robbie V is calling for something to be done about the situation, then something should be done. It's just fucking tomfoolery. I can't stand for this shit. All right. Last but not least, the Chandler Jones situation. It's very bizarre and it's very sad. I actually met Chandler Jones once at a Patriots speaker series. He seemed like a good dude. He definitely seemed like a high energy, maybe had a screw loose, but I don't know what's going on here. I mean, I know he got busted for, and he went to the police station before I think it was a divisional game when he was with the Patriots, for smoking synthetic weed. He had a bad reaction. He went to the cops, which pretty interesting call. But yeah, you just wonder what's going on, and you hope that he gets the help. And if anything, this is just a sign that mental health services in America, they're hard to get right now, and that needs to change. End of sentence. All right. Let's go to NFL picks. All right. The Miami Dolphins are, a force to be reckoned with a 70-point outburst. I mean, who's stopping that offense? The Denver Broncos blow. I mean, they're awful. I mean, letting up 70 points, and then their offensive lineman says, "I've been here for like 7 years, and all I've done is lose." Well, all I can tell you, bro, is maybe you should go play for another team that maybe wins a little bit more. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, the whole freaking Russell Wilson thing has just been a travesty. It hasn't worked out for the Broncos, and you wonder how long that experiment is going to happen. You also wonder how long Sean Payton's going to have a job, giving up 70 points to freaking the Miami Dolphins. Well, I mean, they got a great offense. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not sitting here saying the Denver defense, they need to stop them. And the whole team was unmotivated, and you can even question what they were doing the night before. I mean, it seemed like they were going out to the Ocean Kai, which is a friend of the show. An Ocean Kai, it's a Chinese restaurant in Hingham. It's owned by a good man, and Robbie V loves it. The chicken fingers are great. Thumbs up. Uh, the Patriots won in New York, but I mean, I think might be. I think we should be worried about them going to Dallas. The fact of the matter is, Dallas is going to be up to play that game after losing to the Arizona Cardinals and not really waking up and smelling the coffee. I don't really know what happened to the Dallas during that game. I know some people's wallets were surprised, but my wallet wasn't surprised. But I know other people were. Dallas. Hopefully, this isn't the week they decide to get it together. But what are you going to do? It's life. All right. NFL picks and locks of the week. All right. Raiders Chargers. We need to take the Chargers by minus 5.5. Fact of the matter is, the Raiders, as I predicted, got bullied last week by the Steelers. And Jimmy G isn't playing good football right now. I mean, to be very frank, he couldn't start for Hingham High, never mind freaking the Raiders. And the Raiders, they can't get Josh Jacobs going. And to be honest, Devontae Adams can only do so much for that freaking offense. The Chargers have more than enough weapons to take down the Raiders. Take the Chargers in the spot right here. It's a good play, and Robbie V backs it. What more else do you need than Robbie V backing a team? And by the way, go Chargers. Let's go. Steelers Texans. The Steelers are on a 2-game winning streak, and they're playing great football right now. The Raiders. Oh yeah, the Raiders. They're starting to run the ball. And Kenny Pickett's starting to play better. There's no reason to back Houston here. They're still building the team from the ground up. I think the Steelers will take over the game in the second half with the running game, and George Pickens is going to have a big day. You got to take the Steelers here at -3. And that's the Steelers-Texans game. I want to make it clear to the show that I know what game I'm actually talking about. All right. How are we doing on time? All right. Good. All right. Let's talk about the Chiefs-Jets game. And I'm taking the Chiefs at minus 9.5. It's the lock of the week. The Jets only scored 10 points against the Patriots last week. Their offense is an absolute complete shambles. You got running backs freaking yelling at each other, yelling at the quarterback on the sideline. You got wide receivers yelling at each other on the sideline. You got the hot dog vendor in section 115 yelling at Zach Wilson, telling him he needs to play better. It's just not good for the Jets right now. Zach Wilson shouldn't be the starter. And if Jets management and coaches don't know that, I can't help them. The Chiefs, on the other hand, have Chris Jones back, and they're playing great football. They thrashed the Bears last week in KC. And they'll do the same thing to the Jets in New York. No questions asked. This is Patrick Mahomes' first time in the Meadowlands, and he's certainly going to make the most of it. I foresee a big day for the Chiefs' offense. And to be very honest with you, I don't think the game's going to be very competitive for very long. And that's fine, because if the Chiefs want to make the game uncompetitive, we can all go to bed on Sunday night instead of watching that travesty. All right. MVPs. I think with the recent news about Bruce Willis, obviously he's not doing well, and there's been various news stories about it and how hard his FTD is on him and his family. I think he is a well-deserved MVP right now. He produced great movies back in the day. He's a good dude. And, the RBV 25 show, we're keeping you in our thoughts and prayers, Bruce. Great actor. I hope that doing as well as possibly can. And, wish nothing but good things for you and your family. And that's all I got to say about that. And all right. Wow, we're really running ahead tonight. All right. The Oregon football team. Of course, the Oregon football team's MVP. They finally made Colorado shut the fuck up. They beat them to hell, which is great. It's good for America. It's good for people who like the Oregon Ducks. And I think the fucking Quackers family on the Norwell Estuary over by CVS on Route 53, I think they were happy about the game. They ate a lot of bread. There's a liquor store over there. They might have had some high noons, and they enjoyed it. Honor all Ducks everywhere. The Oregon football team made all the Ducks proud. The Ducks fans and the actual Ducks themselves. Colorado, good luck to you. Oregon football team, take your freaking MVP award for the week and go beat the bananas out of Stanford. All right. Now we're gonna have gonna have basically the wonks of the week. All right, the first wonk of the week is Sante Hurd. So I don't know if you guys heard about this, but basically there is a viral TikTok video of a street musician playing a keyboard. He's just having a good time. I think he had a xylophone, maybe not a xylophone, a harmonica or whatever it was. He was just strumming his keyboard, just having a good time, playing around, getting tips. It's no problem. It became late night, and Sante Hurd, she went by this man, and she freaking destroyed his keyboard. I mean, what a fucking joke. Sante Hurd, she was identified, and then she tried to defend it, which is really stupid. Why break a man's keyboard? It's just absolute tomfoolery at its finest, folks. And Robbie V does not approve of this. In fact, I mean, I would have called the cops and had her ass thrown in jail for freaking 6 months. I don't know if she would. I mean, I know she did get cited, but this is just fucking ridiculous. Like, why did she do this? This wonkish behavior is unbelievable, unacceptable, and it shouldn't be tolerated by any grown man or woman. Sante Hurd, you need to grow up. Yeah, that's right. Robbie V is telling you to fucking grow up and get some life counseling. It's just Robbie. I'm very disappointed in you, Shantae, and you just left me speechless, moron. All right, let's go to our second wonk of the week. Flipping a different speed here. Tom Sandoval is wonk of the week. Why is he wonk of the week? Because Tom Sandoval, no one gives a flying fuck if you're single. I mean, I hate to tell you that. You have to, cheating on Ariana, cheating on Raquel, doing God knows what with your goddamn life. I don't know. I mean, your wonkish behavior, it's gone too far. I mean, I've had enough. You're the fucking wonk of the week, and you're a clown. Grow up. No one cares that you're single, and freaking get your life together. Sell your house, and if you have sold your house, go buy one in, I don't know, the Northwest Territories of Canada. It's just absolute fucking ridiculous. Tom Sandoval, you're a fucking dope. No one's watching your show, and you're just a grade A moron. All right. The other wonk of the week is the what's it called? The Colorado football team. You guys talked all the smack pregame, didn't work out, got your doors blown off. This wonk of the week award is well deserved. You need to be better because USC is coming to town, but I hope you don't, because I'm going to bet on USC to take you guys down, and that is my lock of the week bet. USC minus 21.5 against Colorado. All right. And finally, to that rioter last night in Philadelphia who was, live streaming on TikTok. I think her name was Meatball something. I don't even know. I don't really care. And then she got busted by the cops. That's really why, you probably shouldn't fucking go viral when you're rioting, breaking the law. Just a little tip of the day. It's going to be a new segment on the Robbie V Show. Don't live stream you breaking the law. What a fucking moron. Anyway, folks, next week. Oh yeah, and I lost my fantasy team match. I lost all my fucking fantasy team matchups last week. It's unacceptable. I'm calling a team meeting. Maybe I'll go at the Kowloon. I heard, probably run into a bunch of Minifans tomorrow night. Actually, I know I will, but that's all good. All right. Fact of the matter is that this is a big weekend for soccer. I hope everyone stays safe. And finally, this is Robbie V signing off. Enjoy your night and enjoy soccer. Thank you.